All right. So the power does not blow out here unless I have power running in here. The only time the power ran out that I can recall where I wasn't blowing it out. I'm not going to explain how that happens. I'm not explaining things to 2-year-olds. After all the videos I've made and writing on it that I have typed, you should know how that happens. All right, so the only time that I wasn't, whatever the word, because I'm so stressed living with fucking murder and terror suspects. The only time that I was not, whatever the word, to the power to cause it to blow in my unit was during the time, about this time, last year, when it was a full house. They had the man upstairs be conjunct to Gwen Ball, who was never announced ever lived here. I'm not going to say who he was because everybody knows who he was, and I'm tired of this. Expecting a woman to tell all this every time she gets on video. Tell it all. The whole 2 years. Every video, man, because we are incapable. We're retarded, and we need you to make up for our inadequacy. No, I'm not. I fucking quit my job. The man upstairs who he never told was moving in, that guy, who was there and all part of the mix of the devil party during the first presumed homicide. Who was really fucking quiet too. Anyways, I can tell the federal agents this because I'm done. He never fucking made himself announced. Obviously we know why. Never heard that dude. The couple times I did, I thought he was, anyways, we'll talk to the federal agents about that. This is way getting off the beaten path. Okay, so there was that room occupied. There was Gwen Ball's, obviously. Well, I never went up there. This is just what I'm deducing inductively. The Gwen Ball was in her room. We don't know. Maybe they were all jumping from room to room. I'm being cynical. I just don't know, okay? But I know there was them up there. I mean, at some point, we know they're up there. You know who knows what room they were in on what day? That cop that came and knocked on everybody's door that I brought into the house because I was so freaked out by what I was witnessing in here. I did not realize that the cops were part of this terrorist cell. Because that's the only way to explain the chemical lab, okay? People just don't do that. Unless she's making meth, I don't think she's making meth. But this is not for me, man. This is for the cops that refuse to fucking look into this house. And at that point, with all the crimes, they're really like, whatever the word themselves, making themselves look incredibly guilty. And I guess they don't care. Then at that point, you got to give me a word in our dictionary for what's happening to the United States, because it is, and I'm living it. So anyways, there was a man up there was Gwen Ball up there, and then there was multiple hookers, all that were always in that one room. We know there's more than one in there, and they're always up there, and they killed each other in there, and they did all kinds of shit in there, dude. Sell drugs, everything in there. I heard it's all. I heard the drug deals, the parties, the sex, the murders. And that was a murder, dude. I'm sorry that I don't believe the pimp was putting her down and making her go to sleep. That's what I thought because I'm so innocent. No. That night that it happened, no, mommy, he wasn't making her go to sleep, sweetie. I thought because she was wasted that he maybe choked her, like did something incredibly violent and deserved, because I heard it. I heard the sports being played, my words, you know. I heard her whimpering. I heard her, yeah, I heard it all. But I'd never been a fucking witness to murder, dude. So I wasn't inclined to say, oh, I just wasn't. No one's perfect. I heard it all upstairs. They did it all in that fucking room, man. So that was the only time the power went out without me, whatever the word, in here causing it to blow. You guys have taken my vocabulary from me in the United States. I think somebody somewhere can see why. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. So this is very suspect. And no one's blaming me for suspecting anything these criminals do when they're not outright, overtly committing serious felonies, dude. Violent crimes. All right, so the power just... I heard my machine. I would say within an hour of me waking up into conscious, I heard the machine. And, I mean, it's possible that the power just blew out on its own, but no, because that's never happened that I've been here for 2 years. Unless she's doing something up there tremendous with the power. I mean, we have to really speculate why that happened, because everything was off up here except my AC going. And that is on echo. So it goes on and off, on and off. And when I can have it on that feature, this is the cats. I like to have it on that feature because I can hear just all that bit more. Because when that thing is going 24 hours nonstop, no breaks, I cannot hear anything. And the terrorist suspect, Gwen Ball, and the homicide suspect, so she's up there with all the fucking homicides. Come on, let's be adults. The police need to come and fill in the blanks here. Was she up there? What did she know? What? They don't do anything, dude. They come and fucking try to haul me off, the fucking witness, telling you all about what I witnessed. At this point, the police don't care what they look like. This is so fucking serious what's going on in this city. All right. Anyways. So she might be doing something incredible with power. I wouldn't put it past her. Who knows? Who fucking knows? But I'm telling you, regularly, normally here, that is very suspect that this thing just goes off. The power's off. All right? It is. And this is right after the laundry being stolen. He had not returned the laundry yet. And on film, he confesses to stealing it and not returning it. All right? It's totally fucking illegal. The other day, he takes my mail. I don't need to do this. This is small, whatever the word small, whatever the word. There's a term I can't remember. I'm too fucking terrified in this place. My vocabulary is shot. And here come fucking sirens. I can't do this here, man. Let's put this on. Okay. You'd have to ask him, like an officer, an agent, somebody, what was your plan? Because he's never going to tell me. He's never going to give me a straight answer. Why are you holding on to her laundry? You're stealing it and holding it. Why are you doing that? Why are you taking her mail? They're never going to tell you a thing here. When you confront them about the dead body smell, dude, that's what it is. Because every time I hear someone getting jumped, that smell comes. So I know what it is. And then don't forget the mold. I think that they were storing it somewhere. One of the 4 that I've witnessed. And the cops will never investigate this shit. And it's just radioactive screaming to be investigated. I know. And I'm in here. I can't believe this happened in my life. I am not happy about it. All right. So this guy will never give you a straight answer. So it's power, then it's laundry, and it's what else? Bam, 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 bam. Mama, they're on a fucking roll. So I'm like, okay, I'm drinking my coffee, right? And I'm like, okay, I gotta get my head straight, but first I gotta stay like somewhat in a climate temperature because I can't do the DC heat here. It's incredibly hot. The further south you go in the United States, I personally don't have the body, the physical body to live in that kind of temperature. No, I don't. I'm not putting it down. I just can't. I don't do well in extreme heat with a lot of humidity. I don't. I always thought I'm pivoting. I always thought Arizona was really beautiful. But I bet if I went there, because I love the desert, like everybody wants to see the desert, right? It's world famous natural beauty. I bet after a couple of weeks I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be complaining to the moon and back about how hot it is and how I don't like all the heat. I know. I bet I would. I just haven't done it. So let's not put myself through that. Run off to Arizona. But I just don't think I'm a hot, extreme heat weather person. And DC is known for that. The whole East Coast gets miserable in the summer, and DC is a little bit hotter. It can get up to 10 degrees hotter here. More humidity, less air, less wind. It's real fucking horrible. This was a swamp. I'm completely pivoted. This was a swamp. Go do your history. Look it up. Don't expect me to explain that too and everything else in the last 2 years. You just expect me to tell you everything. You need to learn how to read. And no offense to people who have trouble reading, but you can still learn. Please learn. To all of you. DC was a swamp. They built it over a swamp. So this says a lot about the air here. Okay? It's a swamp. It's a hot place to be. You're not supposed to really stay here. I'm not trying to put George Washington down. George is from the region, but he should have, I don't know, he's an incredibly smart human. Why did he do that? I don't know, because by the time they were building the Capitol and by the time they were building the post office here, this is not the Trump Tower, it's the old post office. Do your history. I've been coming here so many years. I see DC as probably some people who are native. I don't see it as, oh, there's a Trump Tower because it has a name on it. Like, that's so American. And that's frightening that that's how we see the world. You put a name on it or whatever, and that is reality to them. They're the most stupid people on the planet, some of them. Yes. But the old post office, and when they were building all that and building the Capitol building, it was all mud. This was after the Civil War. A lot of this was done after the Civil War. This whole area, this part that we're in, this house I'm in, this area was all built after the Civil War. The whole part of town was. So did George plan that? Because I know Georgetown is really old. That goes way back to like the 1600s. That's where George claimed. But he did plan that because the map is all him. It's all his. I love DC. You don't know what. The reason why I'm so mean to DC is because of the kind of people in this time era that took it over. Okay, but when George made all the pyramids, George did all that. George was an incredible human. I can't remember the word right now. It's right down the street, right across the street. I can't remember nothing right now. It's too terrifying here. Anyways, he did that with the Masonic. Thank you. God damn it, man. Masonic, which is right next door to where I ended up living when I fucking lived here. This shit is not a coincidence. Anyways, so it's a beautiful, incredible city on the planet. It's a wonderful city that people want to come see from all over. Oh, absolutely. If you're into architecture and you're into city planning, there's a word for that. I can't think of the word. People, don't put it on me right now. Why don't you get me away from these fucking killers in this house? Try that. Try putting me around a police department that isn't involved with them. With homicides and drugs and who knows what else. No, we know, a chemical lab. Try that. I'll be able to remember words. I'm just begging people to have some mercy. But they don't. The United States has gotten really bad. Anyways, I know I pivoted, but you're not supposed to live. You're not supposed to live with this kind of heat. And I would love to ask George, what were you thinking, George? It's really hot here. Okay, but back to my point. So I had to get cooled off, okay, because the AC had been turned off in here suspiciously. And I had to then ask Jesus for my guidance on the people here, okay? And it's the most peculiar fucking guidance. I'm drinking my coffee. And it's no, don't call it quits. No, don't have to do nothing. They're in guidance, which I believe it because their actions show it. They're really hoping the cops come still and take me away for some sort of, I don't know, whatever they want to make up, okay? Whatever they want to make up. It's not going to happen. I feel almost confident in that, but I can't be confident in a police force that obviously intertwines themselves with the crimes that are being committed here. No, we don't have any confidence in people that are involved with subjects like in this house and the crimes that they commit here. No. I have confidence in somebody else, preventing them from doing that, preventing the DCPD from coming up here and removing the witness from the crime scene. I don't want to be in the crime scene. But I'm factually, unfortunately, and by fact, I'm in the crime scene still with the suspects. So the other accomplices who are the DCPD cannot come and protect their suspects who are their accomplices. That's what I have confidence in. That is gaining every day. Okay, so I tend to lean on the side of in speculation that that's where the power went out. Oh, it's obvious why the laundry was stolen. They wanted that. To this day, I'm not going to keep sending the text, okay? That would be weird. I don't want to give them any reason because they're criminals. But my text ability has been cut off to the DCPD. I can no longer even legally dock anything. I need to dock things because my mind always goes, oh, I'm going to take this to court. I'm a civilian. This is what I can do. I mean, certainly now that I can't call the local police. No, because they're involved in whatever the fuck they're doing here. Well, I can tell you what I witnessed. That's enough, right? No, I think there's more. I think there's a chemical lab that's doing other things. Or I've witnessed that too, I know. They really need to bring federal agents in here, I'm telling you. But my guidance is no, you're not going to go to the courts. That's my guidance. And no, they're not going to be able to bring anybody in to silence the witness. So this is what I'm saying, and I'm saying this with all gravity and concern, or whatever these words are. Please don't do this to me right now. Expect me to have that right now. I'm too freaked out here. And maybe a normal adult will understand when I'm just about to make this statement. You can get it at some point, please. Why I have no vocabulary. I'm saying this with almost seriousness and whatever the word. It is not good. If I'm not supposed to go to the courts, and no, their police are not going to remove the witness because there's good people here in DC. I get lost in talking about DC because I actually really loved it. I love it like the good people who are from here and the good people who moved here. They wanted to do really cool things with their college degrees because they were good people. I love DC like that too. And DC turned in this time era into Berlin in whatever the word. It's not literally Berlin. I just don't have a vocabulary. It turned into a neo-Nazi engine. And so me and all these nice people who really loved DC kind of got fucked. Okay, but anyways, so here's my point, my statement, okay? This is my thesis, hypothesis. Not thesis, it's hypothesis. But it's in guidance. Don't call the courts. No, they're not going to drag you off. See, this is why my guidance is telling me this, because my guidance is so fucking protective of me. Thank you, Archangel. Al Qaeda is coming back. Iran is coming back here for their people. All right? I've witnessed it 4 times, you guys. All right? Because that's what was going through my head. And that was that yes, I get. The yes, I get. Every time I start to get these guidances, and I as a person who has the right to do it, I talk about it on my social media. Then I start hearing fucking homicides and I start putting that on my social media. Just go back to when it started. Go back, and it's exactly the same thing I'm doing now. My guardian angel starts telling me about Iran, and then people start fucking dying around me, and I'm tweeting it out. Go back and look, dude. Yep. That's why at this time I'm a little cautious. Fuck yeah. Okay. Because the cops will never investigate, so I'm left here as the witness trying to fill in the gaps. What is this chemical? What is this firearm? What are these tubs and pots? What is this really dangerous behavior that they both always do every day? What is this crimes they always do? What is this cops always protecting them? What is these struggles and fights, physical violence I hear? And what is this horrible dead smell I smell that comes every time after? What is this? I'm trying to understand with no help whatsoever in here on my own. And then my archangel says, you better watch out. You don't need to call no courts. You don't need to go, dear. And ain't nobody going to come and try to harm you here who is a dingbat like I've just described, one of their associates here in this house. I don't need to keep repeating myself every 5 minutes. Who would try to remove me? And so I'm like, is it Al Qaeda? It's a yes. Al Qaeda's coming here. Iran. That can't be good. And that would be why my archangel is telling me. This is all speculation, but I have to try to find some understanding to something that's going on around me, people, because this has gone on too long. This is all speculation, but my archangel wants me to be really safe and careful and have advanced warning, advanced guidance on this, because these fucking people really do it. I mean, you'd have to prove to me otherwise. That every time I'm hearing a struggle and screaming and gargling and massive fucking violence and then smelling a dead body, that's not what happened. You're gonna have to really prove to me otherwise. I'm a reasonable, sound person. So if you had enough stuff and it was all, whatever the word, I would say, okay, all right. That's wild. It sure seemed like they were killing people in here. But until you do that, it really does. I don't think I need to go through a whole scientific discovery process and find out that the smell was coming from the volcano down the road. It was the sulfur acid, and with the wind flow on these days, and those violence, that was mice. The day you heard the lady was screaming because she saw a mouse. I mean, okay, let's just stop. But you're going to have to, because I have come to my own determinations, all right? I have. So that's why my celestial family is guiding me, man. Just don't even bother with the courts. I don't know. I'm going to keep doing that because this screams to me as a civilian who can't get any police to do their job. I need to go to the courts because this is so out of hand, everything they do. I don't need to say everything they do. I film it every day. But my guidance is no, Mommy. This is really serious. Do you think that Iran doesn't want them going to the courts? Is this a prompter for them to come? I have no idea, people. All I know is there was people on the roof all the time. 3 in the morning and shit, dude. It was a passageway. It was all the time. All I know is during the insurrection. I mean, if you start talking about fucking foreign adversaries, then that's where my mind goes. After. Fuck, just stop with the dates. I'll tell an agent the right dates. She was letting men in here to see the hooker, entertain them in her room, and they were playing with plumbing and doing stuff. Oh my fucking God. Yes, dude. And during all the homicides, there was people on the roofs. There must be something like that going on here. And that would explain the fucking chemicals, dude. And why she goes up and down the stairs like that, like a fucking animal from the zoo. Up and down the stairs, up and down, up and down. The bitch is crazy. Flushing the toilet. Flush, flush, flush. Flush the toilet. The bitch is crazy. And then the chemicals, that fucking fire alarm beeps now routinely. Not all day. It's at a certain time. I don't know. You need to ask her that shit. My guidance from my celestial is just don't even ask the bitch this shit. Maybe it's actually to protect myself, from bad folks that were on. Because I know, right? I know. So this is kind of free verse I've done on the internet just now. I haven't gotten through my first cup of coffee, and I have not really decided. I know probably not to call courts. I guess not. But I don't know what I'm doing. I just, wow, man. And what the fuck? That would explain it, because this whatever she's doing with those chemicals is so fucking serious with her. She flooded out my bathroom. All this chemical, like rust stuff, was in the water. Twice now, the house is just with chemicals. I get sick if I don't have my fan blasting. I get headaches. She fills the house up with a toxic chemical from up there that makes you sick. She got pots, fire alarms, tubs, everything I wrote to the FBI. That was pretty good. That was my college effort there. Just a quick overview. To be professional, here you go, dude. It wasn't something I want to present if it was a... what's the word? I can't remember. Never mind. But no, man. I don't know, okay? I don't know what to do. But they're going to go hard every day, these two. Okay? All right. Thanks for listening. I want to say that. Thanks for listening. Bye.